Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Tanya Edwards, CEO and founder of Savvy Credit Consultants and your certified credit specialist. Doing something a little different today. So typically I will go live in our Savvy Credit Club group, but today I decided to go live on the actual business page because there is something that I want to share with everybody and not just those of you who are enrolled in the program. So, first things first, what I'm going to do is share this in the group to make sure that you guys are all getting access to the live that we're currently doing. And then I'm going to start talking about the topic that you see here on the screen. And it is called Budget Cut Your Way to Success. The reason that I'm covering this is because we started what I like to call a little program about a month ago called Wealth Building 101. And with Wealth Building 101, the idea was to help some of you accomplish the goals that you have in mind. Some things that you have planned and be able to figure out different ways to accomplish that. Now, you guys all should be familiar with the term wealth building. And if you're not, well, there's no better time like the present to get familiar with what we mean when we say wealth building. Right now, guys, I'm sharing this video from our business page to our group because I want you all to be able to participate and gain this knowledge. Give me just 1 second. All right, so that is officially shared in the Savvy Credit Club, and I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the broadcast. So, guys, listen. Earlier this quarter, I guess, or I would say semester, but we're not in school, so quarter. I started a program called Wealth Building 101. And I reached out to some of you in the group and I said, hey, guys, which one of you would like to get some more information on just building what we call generational wealth? Now, what this particular program is designed to do is help you guys reach some basic goals, but also be able to put things in place to build on those basic goals and change them from basic goals to major goals, to accomplishing major goals, right? So one of the things that we started off by doing was in line with Dave Ramsey's challenge. And if you guys aren't familiar with Dave Ramsey, he's a financial guru who basically teaches that you should never use credit, that you should pay cash for everything. And I kind of love the idea of Dave Ramsey, but at the same time, I recognize that an individual like Dave Ramsey has money galore. Like, there is not a lack of money when it comes to him. So it's easy to make that type of plan and say, I'm going to pay cash. It's kind of difficult when you have a lack of funds and you're struggling and you don't really know where you're going to get the next dollar from, or you don't know how you're going to be able to start your business, or you're going to be able to fund different things, right? So while I do believe in the use of credit, I also believe in the healthy use of credit, right? I believe that you should be taught how to use it, what to do with it, how to leverage credit. At the same time, if you can pay cash, then I absolutely believe you should pay cash. So earlier this month, And well, actually in the month of October, the 1st of October, we started our first challenge. And I asked you guys to drop a goal that you wanted to reach in the group. Now, some people participated. And this was the post that I made. I don't know if you could see that, but basically I asked you guys to start an emergency fund, right? I asked you to start an emergency fund because I was going to walk you through the baby steps that Dave Ramsey teaches. And the first goal was $1,000 if you can do it. But for those of you who have a limited amount of income, your goal should have been $500, right? Well, we had some people who dropped goals in the comments, and basically, some people said they wanted to be able to buy a house, buy a car. They wanted $1,000, $500, whatever the case may be. Well, I set a goal for myself, and I posted that in the group. And that goal was my year goal, right? Which was to save $12,000. Now, I don't know how in the heck I'm going to save $12,000, but I was determined to try. And so I started off with my first goal of $1,000. And guess what, guys? Like, to my surprise, I reached that goal. And I want to share with you how I did it and how I know that you guys can absolutely do it too. So we're talking about budget cuts. Now, this is something that we hear in the business world quite often. I'm going to bring it over to your home, to your dinner table, right? We're going to have budget cuts. And I talk to my kids about this. And so everybody is on one page. They know that right now we're going through what we call budget cuts. And what budget cuts means to me is we're going to look at our budget, our monthly budget, and figure out ways that we can cut down on some of the things that we're doing. And in doing so, we will be able to take that additional money and put it into savings. So my kids officially started their savings last month with me, and I'm proud to say they are all on track, right? What I did to help track savings was I found this app online, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It's called 52 Weeks. Wanted to share it before it popped up. So, well, it's kind of going quick, but anyways, it's a little pig, right? It's like a piggy bank. It's called 52 Weeks. And what it does is it teaches you how to, or it helps you to track your savings weekly. So with the kids, I have them going to the bank every Saturday, making deposits. If they don't get to the bank, then it's transferred into their accounts, their savings accounts. And right now, they're all on track with about 15% of their savings goal accomplished. And I'm pleased with that with them. But for myself, I set the goal of $1,000 for the month. And here are some of the things that I did to accomplish that. So the very first thing that we did, or that I had to do, was think to myself, what things am I buying that I absolutely just don't need, right? And that's what I want you guys to ask yourself and tell yourself. Stop buying things you don't need. Some of us have this desire, this something inside of us that makes us want to just spend money. I don't know if we're going through things. I don't know if you are stressed or heartbroken or what it is, but something makes you want to spend money. And we usually buy things that we really don't need. How many of you guys are guilty of buying something you don't need? And I want you to go ahead and comment if you're guilty of buying something you don't need. Just say me, right? So in the process of buying, I want you to think, do I really need this, or is this a want? Is this something that I have to have, or is this something I just want? Kind of like when you see that outfit or that shirt or those jeans or that dress that's 40% off, we have conditioned our minds to think we have to have this. We can't leave it in the store. There's no way we can pass it up because it's 40% off, even 90% off sometimes. Sometimes it's things we can't even wear, but we buy it. And that's something that is not a necessity. That is a want. That is something called not denying self-gratification, right? So we have to learn to deny ourselves. So cut out the things that you don't need. Now, here's a big one for men and for women, more so for women because the dollar amount is so much more, but for men as well. Let's talk about getting our hair done, men getting your hair cut. Now, haircuts can be, $20, $25. every time you go get your hair cut. 15 if you're lucky these days. But some of you can absolutely cut your own hair. But we want to go to the barber shop and go to the beauty shop like it is business meeting, you know, with multimillionaires every time we go, or like it's prom season, prom weekend every time we go. What I want you guys to do is consider doing it yourself. Now, I know a lot of people who are, you know, in the hair business, barbers, hairstylists, you guys are looking like, wait a minute, you know, I was with you until you started talking about cutting your hair money and your hair expenses. But guys, listen, this is going to benefit you too. So don't worry. People will still come to you because guess what? Everybody's not going to follow these tips and this advice, right? They're going to do what they want to do anyways. But I want you guys to at least consider that if you're spending $25 a week getting your hair done, then that's a major problem, right? If that's what you're doing, that's a problem. And I need you to be able to think about cutting that from $25 a week for men who are getting cuts, because that's $100 a month, to maybe every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. Do you really need to have a haircut every single week? This is something I had to do with my 12-year-old. He's the type of person, he wants to be fly and fresh 24/7. And when I tell you this boy wanted a haircut every week, he wanted a haircut every week. And I had to say, wait a minute, if you pay for your haircut, you can get a haircut every week. But if I'm paying for it, we're going for every 2 to 3 weeks. And that's just what it's going to be. And we might skip a week and just get you a lineup in between. I mean, you're not going anywhere. So what difference does it make, right? We can teach you grooming and we can teach you how to be presentable, but you absolutely need to learn how to manage your money. Okay. Now, when it comes to ladies, oh my God, we will spend, everybody loves their bundles. I totally get it. It looks good, right? It really looks good. But here's the deal. When you're spending anywhere from, you know, $200, $300, $400, $500 to get your hair done, ladies, we have got to get a grip on this. If your hair cost is more than you have saved in your savings account, you don't need to be doing it. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but it is what it is. If you don't have $500 saved in the bank, you shouldn't be spending $500 to get your hair done or on some bundles. If you don't have $200 put aside in savings that you don't have to touch, then you shouldn't be spending $200 to get your hair done. Just think about doing it yourself, like learn how to do it or limit the number of times that you do it, or get a lower cost weave, for goodness sake. Like, do you really need the $400 bundles? Do you really need that? Is that a necessity or is that a want? Is that something you're doing for yourself or is that something you're doing to please other people who probably don't even like you and you don't even like them, right? Okay, so hair is one of the major things. Now, here's another thing. Guys, this thing right here, this trusty old cell phone, look at my cell phone. I know it looks like it's cracked, but it's not. There's a screen protector on it. But anyways, I hate Apple. Like, let me just put it out there. I hate Apple. And the reason I hate it is because it has so many people brainwashed into believing that they have to have the latest new gadget that came out this month when they just bought one 2 months ago, right? You guys want the newest iPhone, and the iPhone changes every month, every 6 months, every year, and you guys like feel like you absolutely have to have it. Guys, trust me, I've had this phone, and this is not an iPhone, this is like the Note 5 or something. But anyways, I've had this phone for probably 6 years now. Whenever Note 5 first came out, that's when I got it. And that's just what I'm going to have until it stops working. Like, I believe in riding it until the wheels fall off. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. But some people, they buy these $800,000, $900,000 phones, and they don't even keep them for a year or 2 years, or every year they're switching up their phones. You guys don't even have I was going to say the sense enough, but I don't want to be rude. But some of you don't even cover and protect your phone. So if it drops, you're out of luck. Now you have to buy a whole new phone. And I know what you guys are thinking and saying to yourselves, well, I only pay $20 a month. I don't care if you're paying $20 a month or $20 a week. If the phone is $1,000, you're paying $1,000 plus you're paying to finance it. What sense does that make? I need for you guys to consider cutting not only the types of devices that you have, but also the companies that you're dealing with. Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. These are companies that are getting billions of dollars out of our pockets, and they're giving us the same service that Metro PCS and Cricket is giving you. They're owned by these same companies. So you're getting the same access, the same service, unlimited everything. My phone, and I'm proud of it, is through Metro. I don't care who doesn't like it. But I have unlimited everything. I don't have to have a data plan. It doesn't slow down on me. I don't have dropped calls or I don't lose my signal. I travel where I want to travel and the phone still works. And I only pay $67 a month for it. And that's the high plan, right? Like $35 is the lower plan. So what I'm telling you guys is if you're paying $200 and $300 and $400 a month on a cell phone bill, that's too much, especially if you don't have $200, $300, and $400 sitting in your savings account, again, that you don't have to touch. So consider cutting out that expensive cell phone bill and move on to something that's more affordable, more economical, and that's going to give you the same results as you're already getting. So here's the deal. Some of you are saying, okay, well, I have a plan. Like it's not just me on my phone bill. Well, guess what? My total phone bill runs about $185 a month, but that's 5 lines. Like that's 5 phones, right? My kids have phones because I feel like I have to be able to get in touch with them, but if I choose to cut their phones, it's $67 just for my phone, right? So guys, consider cutting out some of those phone bills and take that excess money that you're going to save when you cut it and chunk it away to your savings, right? Chunk it away to your goal of getting that emergency fund in place. Okay, so the next thing you want to look at is go through your bank statement. Look for those little recurring charges of 99 cents, $2.99, $9.99 for all these different apps that we have said, okay, we're going to get this app one time and delete it. And then you forget to cancel and delete it, and it's charging you for months on end. So I can't tell you guys how many apps that I went through my phone bill, and I'm like, what is this? And every time a little 99 cents or $2.99 or $9.99 pops up, I'm looking like, what in the world is this? And then I realized Google Play and these Google apps and all this different stuff that I said I'm going to get it one time. But all of a sudden, the one time turned to 4, 5, 6, 7 months, $10 a month. That's $70 that I could have saved, right? So go through your bill, go in your Play Store, cancel those apps that you're not using. If you're using PayPal, I'm not even going to talk about PayPal because that's a sneaky way to get money from you and you don't even realize it because you kind of set it and forget it. So we forget that we have put something in PayPal and it's auto paying. But go through that and cancel those recurring charges that you have that you don't really use or even need. Now, here's a big one. It's easier to do it now, but a lot of people are still bucking it. You do what you do, but this is going to benefit you in your health and in your wealth, right? Limit your amount of your meat intake. Guys, we do not, number one, need to have meat 3 meals a day and every single day. Number two, our body is not designed to have meat 3 meals a day and every single day. If you cut your meat budget alone, take that extra money and save it. I guarantee you will find more money than you thought you had. Like, do you really need to have steak every meal? Some of us didn't even grow up with meat like that, and we want to eat meat every day. We're ordering filet mignon, on the menu, and Some of us don't even know how to pronounce it, but you don't need that. Cut your meat budget is going to help you physically with your health. It's going to unclog some of your arteries. And in addition to that, it's going to free up some money for you to be able to put aside in your savings, right? So make sure that you look at that. Just limit your intake. If you can't completely cut it, limit your intake, right? Here's a big one. Now, this one doesn't affect me, never has, but I know it affects a lot of people that I know and a lot of you. If you are a drinker and you feel like you need to have a glass of wine a day, cut your wine intake, like cut your alcohol intake down. When you go out, oh my God, drinks I have seen from people I've been around range from $4 to $12, and that's probably on the low end, right? But some of us are trying to ball out of control, getting drinks and ordering drinks, and you're paying $4, $6, $10, $12 for one drink. Like you're at the state fair every day when you order these drinks. That is ridiculous. Cut your alcohol intake down. It's going to benefit your health and your wealth, I guarantee you. And it might adjust your attitude a little, because you know some people don't know how to control their attitude when they're drinking. So go ahead and say to yourself, you know what? I want to slow up or, cut down my alcohol intake. I don't need to have a glass of wine every day. How about you buy one bottle of wine and drink it for a month or two? Like, can you hold wine that long? I guess you can, because it's going to ferment, right? So anyways, just get one bottle and hold it for a month or two and sip on it for the whole month or two, not a glass a day. That's ridiculous. I know they say that it's good for your health, but I'm telling you, it's not good for your pocket. Okay. Here's another thing. Like, some of us are spending entirely too much money on our grocery bill, our grocery budget. Now, this is what I want you to do when it comes to your grocery budget. Open your pantry, open your cabinets, wherever you store your grocery, and look in there. And if it's full, you don't need to go buy grocery. And like we say in Louisiana, you don't have to make grocery, right? You don't have to go make grocery yet, because your cabinet is already stocked. There are people out here who don't have food. And some of us are spending $400, $500, $600, $800, $900 a month on grocery that we don't even eat. Food sits in the cabinets. In America, we have so much. I'm just not even going to talk about greed and excess and throwing away. We throw away so much stuff that we didn't even need. If you're throwing away stuff every month, you may want to consider cutting your grocery budget and saving that extra money. So how about you figure out how much it takes to feed one person and multiply that amount times the number of people you have in your household, in your family, and let that be your grocery budget. For me, I feel like we can eat off of $300 a month. It's me and 3 kids, like 4 of us, right? I probably could get off of $200 a month if I would continue couponing like I used to. But anyways, that's beside the point. Take that extra money you're spending on grocery and throwing away and put it in your savings account. And I guarantee you, before you know it, you will have saved your money, your emergency fund. Oh my gosh, here's the next one I have written down. That trusty old cable bill. Now, I know a lot of us like to say this is the first thing we come to is the cable bill. Well, I saved it for almost last. Why? Because I know you guys are going to put up a fight about it. But in 2018, we have the Roku, we have the Fire Stick, we have Netflix. For my sports lovers, my men out there, we have Sling TV. Guys, if you're paying for Netflix, number one, if you have a full-time job, you're not even watching the cable because you're probably working all day. Then you get home, you're tired. You may watch an hour or two of TV, and then you're in the bed sleeping. So you're paying $200 cable bills, $300 cable bills for what reason? Don't even try to tell me it's about the internet, because you can get internet and you can get the basic package on the cable for like $60. You don't need to spend $200 and $300 on cable. And really, if you cut off the cable part, just do your internet for $10, and that's high speed, and do your Netflix for $10 a month. That's $20 a month, right? You will save like $180. Okay, so now how exactly do you save this money? Before I get to that, there's one more thing. For my business owners, this is a big one. Some people we probably need to assess our brand, our business, and make a decision on, is this brand just costing me money? Or am I really making money from this brand? Decide for yourselves, is it something that you have to have that's actually costing you money? Or if it's something that, you just wanted and you're making money from it, whatever the case may be, make that decision, like do an assessment and find out, is it making you money or is it costing you money? If it's costing you money, cut your brand. I know it's difficult. It's hard when you've built something or you feel like you have built something up. It's hard for you to decide, I'm going to stop promoting what's not making me any money, right? It's hard to do that. But if you have a website attached to it and you're maintaining that website, if you have any services attached to that website, you're maintaining them, that is costing you money. And I need for you to make a decision that you're going to take that money and save it and possibly build up a brand that's actually going to generate some revenue for you and not just suck out what you already have. Now, how do we go about actually saving this money? Well, here's the way you do that. What you do is you get you a bank account that you can't just walk into the bank and get money out of. Maybe an online account, right? Capital One is a good one, the Capital One 360 account. A credit union that's not local to you or that you have to kind of drive out to get to, or a bank that's not local to you, somewhere that's going to actually cost some effort for you to go and get the money. You open that account, you attach it to your normal account, and you just save money. Just put it in there. Every paycheck, every dollar that you get in your hand, treat it like your tithes, right? If you're a tither, you giving 10% to God, sock away 10% for yourself. Okay. If you're on the 10-15 principle or 10-5 principle, 15%, right? Take 15% and put aside for yourself and learn to live off of less than what you make. So if your check is $100, $10 goes to your tithe, maybe $15, $10, $15 goes to your savings that you don't touch. You don't see it every day. You can't pull up your mobile app and mobile banking and say, oh, I have this amount of dollars. No, just put it in there and don't think about it. Consider it like Uncle Sam, right? They take their taxes. You don't even get to see it. Before you know it, it's gone. The only way you know what happened is you go through your statement and you see how much was taken, right? Do that for your savings. I guarantee you it's going to bless your life when you finally get a chance, and only check it monthly. When you finally get a chance to check it and see how much you have saved, it's going to motivate you guys. Now, here's the deal. Your initial savings for the month of October should have been $1,000, $500 if your income is under $25,000 a year, right? But I think that's kind of small, even if you're making $25,000. I think you can save $1,000, right? Just cut out some of these things I'm talking about. If you have a soda fund and not an alcohol fund, cut out your sodas and take that money and put in your savings account. I guarantee you're going to come up on your savings real quick. And then you'll be able to move on to where we're going in this month of November, which is paying off some of our debts. We're going to come back to you guys next week, and we're going to talk about exactly how you pay off those debts. There's a method to the madness, but it's a best practices, right? It's kind of like, the rule that of how you pay it off so you can accomplish more. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. My name is Tanya Edwards. I am the CEO and founder of Savvy Credit Consultants. Yes, I believe in credit, but I also believe in building generational wealth. Today, we've talked about budget cutting your way to success. If you guys like this, go ahead and comment. If you have any questions, comment. I'll come back and answer everybody's questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next broadcast.